Hello, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, everything under the sun. This is David here from Team Powerhouse, Coldwell Banker, and I'm excited to be with you today. I'm live in Palm Beach at the Breakers Hotel. Live with me is the most amazing manager under the sun. Jennifer Caldwell is the woman in front of us. She's amazing, and we're so happy to have you here today. So Jennifer Caldwell, please, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Dave.
Absolutely. We have a lot to talk about on today's episode. Something very exciting for you as a seller. If you've been thinking about selling your house and you've been wondering, how am I going to get my house in the market? I got so many things I got to do to get my house ready. I don't have the money to make it happen. I don't know what it's about. What am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? Coldwell Banker has a program called the Revitalize program we're talking about, and something called the Listing Concierge, that if you're an agent out there and you work for Coldwell Banker, you can share this with your clients and talk about what this is about. So Jennifer, please help me out, please, in talking about what is the Listing Concierge first.
Oh, okay. Well, Listing Concierge, we made this really for both the seller and our agents. And when I say about the agents, because the agents are so busy that we have a special department that does everything for them. So how this works is, when we enroll one of our listings, they get professional photography, they get a magazine photo that goes into the New Haven Register, the Hartford Courant. So it's not just an ad, it's something that will end up on somebody's coffee table. We send out just listed to the neighborhood because, as you know, a lot of times the neighbors know somebody who wants to move into the area. We do a TV show, which we have on the CW, and it's Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock, and the seller can see their home there. And then we do a mobile rider. So if somebody's in front of the house, they can text the number, get all the information about the house. But the best part is the agent gets the phone number. So this way they can follow up with the client to see if they want to get into the home, if they have any more questions. We also send out an e-blast to everybody's clients and personal database, because you never know who knows somebody who wants to buy a home. So this way we're just getting the home exposed as much as possible. And it's all the way up until the closing. So in today's market, the things are selling fairly quickly. So we might not get to the TV show right away, but we still do the TV show, because you never know, in today's market, the buyer could back out over home inspection issues. So this way we market all the way up until the closing. So I think that's important for a seller, because, it's not about putting a sign on the property. It's not about just the MLS. It's about everything that we do. So, it's really important, to be out there in all avenues, print media, mailers. We also do a target marketing program on the web. So this way, kind of like Facebook, you're searching Facebook and you see an ad pop up. So we target the buyers that are looking in that price range in that town. So it's going to pop up in front of them when they're on the web. So they could be on CNN and see this home pop up and click on it, get all the information about it. And again, the agent gets alerted of that, so they can check in with the client and see if they want any more information about the home, if they want to make an appointment for the home.
Jen, let me just interrupt you for 1 second.
Sure.
I'm so sorry. You've got so many things that this has for the sellers. It was actually, can we go back to the beginning just to touch a little bit on each one as far as marketability? How many people are going to see things? Let's talk about TV. When you're on the CW, right? Mm-hmm. Do we have an idea of roughly how many people are watching this advertisement happening? And this is on what day of the week is it on?
It's on Sunday at 9 a.m.
So you probably have what?
About 170 million viewers. So it might not be
just
every
170
time.
million. Just 170 million.
Yep, just.
So what you're trying to say is that when we at Coldwell Banker advertise your house, we make sure that everybody on the sun is going to see your home for sale for sure. And in this platform that the CW brings, which many people, a Sunday morning is a big TV morning, typically for families. It's you wake up, you want to catch the news, you want what the weather's like, and then you have a chance to see about real estate in the market, what homes are out there. How long is the segment for?
Well, it's only a couple seconds and not a couple seconds, 15 seconds. But it goes over, it goes through the house, the clips of the house. It features the important parts of the home that somebody might want, like an in-ground pool, a fireplace. So the agent has control over that, what we want to mention on the television show, what we feel would be important to the buyer.
But the show is, how long is the show itself?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe it's a half hour, if I'm not mistaken.
So, but 15 seconds per property, half an hour programming. People get a chance to see what's out there in the market for Connecticut. We definitely know the market is crazy. Things are on and off the market very quickly, but it get a good gauge for not only exposing your property for sale, and the fact that it may go under contract, but it's still being exposed, because when a seller gets a contract in their house, the first thing they say is my house off the market? Does anybody else know my house is for sale? What if something happens? Yada, yada, yada. So this is great exposure across the board with what Coldwell Banker is doing for the clients in the selling of the house today. Let's talk about, you mentioned some news. There are other avenues you said that we do with this program. Can you mention those bullet points, but one at a time, if you don't mind?
Okay, so we do the professional photography, obviously, and those photos get used for the brochure that we do. So there's a brochure that we can put in the house, or you can bring to your work and put it in the lunchroom. Obviously, I know a lot of people are still working from home, but people do go into the office, so they can bring brochures into the office. But typically, we leave them at the house so when showings happen. So
with that same brochure, though, that's also something we can mail out to people in the surrounding areas of that house. It can be in surrounding towns. It can be whoever we want to target market correctly as a listing agent.
Correct. Or if you've been working with a buyer that you think the house might suit, you can send it, obviously to the buyer if you want to send them the brochure.
Awesome. What else do we have besides the brochure? What else do we have?
Okay, well, again, we send out a flyer to your personal database and Coldwell Banker's database. So this way it gets out to anybody that we have in our system that either bought a home or was a past client, and because they know people and we want to get it in front of as many people as possible. Just like on Facebook, people will share posts and say, oh, Carla, look at this great listing, I thought of you. So we want it to get out, in front of a lot of people. And then we do obviously a property tour with all the photos. So this way you can share it with the seller can put it on their website or on their social media site. And then we do the same thing on our site. So, it's getting additional exposure there. And then we have our View magazine. It's designed for Coldwell Banker. There's only Coldwell Banker listings in it, and it gets inserted in like the New Haven Register, the Shore Publications, which are the local papers all the way up the coast, and then the Hartford Courant. So it's not, like I said, an ad in the paper. It's a leave behind. So somebody's going to take it out of the paper and leave it on their table. And, instead of throwing out the paper in a day, it's actually staying on their coffee table for like 3 weeks. So, we're covering all bases.
You mentioned about the different exposure in the different newspapers, and especially in small towns we are in, whether it's going to be Cheshire, let's say Wallingford, North Haven, Guilford, Branford, Madison, Essex, all these small little towns which make up a big group of towns. And these small papers get a lot of viewing when it comes to people actually opening up the papers up and looking for the local ads. So these papers definitely work. I know that with our experience and exposure, it's not about, the New Haven Register is a bigger paper, and it's a great newspaper that you were involved in, but more importantly, the individual town papers, I think, are actually more exposed with more people reading and watching them, which is another advantage we have with this whole opportunity.
Oh, definitely. I see more people looking at the local paper. I read the local paper. I don't look at the New Haven Register, but and people are online, so we have to be everywhere.
Absolutely. What are there other avenues as far as, that's a tremendous amount of exposure that we bring to the table as realtors at Coldwell Banker. Now, by the way, not every Coldwell Banker not every agent is using this necessarily. You want to make sure to ask about this as a person wants to sell their house, to ask your Coldwell Banker realtor about this program and how can it benefit you as a seller. I know that we love to use this program because it has a great piece of the puzzle in selling your home and exposing your home to many different facets. Let's talk about, we have another program called the Revitalize program. This one to me is the creme de la creme, one of the best inventions ever that Coldwell Banker came up with. And what I love about this program, and you're going to go in detail, is it really gives sellers a chance to get their home looking the way it needs to look. So let's talk about this Revitalize program, Jennifer, please.
Okay, so what we're seeing is that 90% of these home sellers are actually doing improvements before they put their home on the market. And, they're doing things like painting, refinishing the hardwood floors, maybe getting new appliances, doing things that, probably they've wanted to do for a
Roofs,
while.
windows,
But
finishing, right?
yes,
Finishing basements, painting, flooring that may need to be done. A lot of the elements of a house that sometimes haven't been done while owning a house because they didn't have the money to do it.
or they just, like refinishing hardwood floors, it's a big chore. You have to move all your furniture out. So, sometimes there's projects in everybody's house that they wish they did before they were selling to enjoy them, but they didn't. And what we're also seeing
That's
is
true.
that they're doing a lot of repairs after a home inspection because there's things that come up that you weren't even aware of, let's say electrical work, things like that. So the program even helps you with things after the sale. So what we do at Coldwell Banker is we're hooked up with Angie List, and they're the vendors who, are part of this program. So Coldwell Banker will loan the seller money to do the upfront work, put it on the market. Once we close on it, then obviously they'll reimburse us the money that they spent. There's no interest.
Let's talk about that. Let's go back to before you finish that sentence, because I don't think people even understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So here you are, you own a home. You have equity in your house. You need to fix your house. If your realtor comes in and says, okay, Lisa and Joe, your house is a great house, but unfortunately it's 1980s in here. And today in this market, we need to have the house look a little more updated to get you more money for your house. And to get you more money for your house, we need to make it look a certain way that people are going to want to buy that house. And the first-time buyers today, more than ever, want it to be done, and they'll pay you what it's worth all day long. Am I right, Jen?
Correct.
And with that being said, now we have this company called Revitalize through Coldwell Banker that allows us to go and get the sellers involved with an opportunity to update their homes, kitchens, bathrooms, roofing, windows, mechanicals, appliances, anything and everything that belongs or needs to be done with the home, even staging, I think. Am I correct?
Yes, they'll do staging.
The advantage of this program, again, obviously you have to have some equity in your house. Now, Coldwell Banker is going to give you money at a 0% interest. Am I right?
Correct.
0% interest. You sell your house, and then what happens? Go ahead, talk to me, Jen.
Okay, well, first let's backtrack a little bit. So, what we've also noticed with the program, it's not always about that the seller doesn't have the money. Okay, so some of our clients have used our program because it's hard right now to get good contractors. They're too busy.
That is true.
So here, meanwhile, they're waiting, but they want to put their house on the market. So some of our clients have just used the program in order to get the contractor to do the work. So it's not only about they don't have the money. And, other times, people do have most of their equity in their home. They might not want to use their money to personally do home improvements and things like that. But, a little bit of paint, refinishing hardwood floors, sometimes just the little things mean a lot. It shows the house in a better light. People walk in and say, oh, wow, I love this home, when you might have just put $2,000 into it to just spruce it up. So, it does, it definitely helps with that. So, once the vendors will go out. You have to use Angie, and they're part of our Revitalize program. So the vendor gets called out, and we use vendors that can do everything. So if you're doing painting, you need to remodel a bathroom, they're versatile. So they'll be able to do everything. And then they give you a price. Now, let's say you don't like the price, you don't want to spend that much money. You can say, well, I only want to do these things, and then the work gets performed. Okay, then we put your home on the market, we sell it, and then at the closing is when you reimburse, you pay Coldwell Banker back. Again, no interest, no penalty, you just pay us back at the closing. So, I know Dave uses this program a lot. He always mentions it to his clients, whether they need it or not, and he's had great success with it. So it's definitely a great tool.
Jen, I will say, as you know, this program has helped my clients tremendously. Most recently, I'm going to say there's a house in Hamden. My clients, they're, love to do the work on their own house and they have blood, sweat, and tears. But there's a level of not only doing things yourself to your home, but you also want to get your house on the market because the sooner you get your house in the market, the better chance of your home selling for more money, right, and a faster sale. But more importantly, not always do you have time to do work in your house. And like you said, having the right contractors have been screened by Coldwell Banker to make sure that the right people for the job, that they have reputations that are accountability, which is very important to our company as well as to the clients in advance, have a chance to get their houses prepared, prepared, and on the market, which is going to get them more money in their pocket. I have a client again in Hamden recently went through the program. This house, great raised ranch home, needed some work. And I walked in and I said to the sellers very simply, listen, guys, I can appreciate all your hard work and you got a beautiful kitchen here. Your bathrooms look great, but here's a problem. The floors in the bedroom over there are completely ruined. The basement needs to be refinished. Your house needs to be painted. They went through the program. Within about 2 to 3 weeks, they had one of the program, Angie's List people that came in. They were phenomenal. They were in touch with the client. They got in there. They did all the work fair and reasonably, and they got the house on the market. And we just talked about with the client today, as a matter of fact, because they said to me, well, I put all this money into my house. Am I going to get it back? Well, let's just talk about the fact they got $26,000 over asking price, and that is because of the work they had done to the house, which was done by the people from this Angie's List through the Red Lights program, which is putting more money in their pocket. Had they not done the work to their house, it may not have sold. It definitely wouldn't have sold for as much as it sold for and as quickly as it sold. So this program really, really works. It's an amazing program, and I love it. I love it for many reasons because how often we walk into a house as an agent and we just, we throw our hands up in the air saying, okay, in order to sell this house, if you don't do any work, you're going to make, let's just say, $250,000. But if you put in $25,000, I can put you at $350,000. Well, that's a $75,000 increase in your pocket. And you know what? It really works.
I think sellers really need to talk to the agent and say, what's important that I should be doing to sell my home? And the agent also should be telling the seller, do these things, don't worry about this. Little things like just painting baseboard in a room. The room might look great, but the baseboard's all chipped up because of, chairs and furniture and things like that. So just little things might add a whole different view to a consumer. So definitely ask the agent what their recommendations are.
It's how your property looks on the market for a buyer. A buyer looks at your house for about 30 seconds maximum. They're flipping through maybe their phone, which is a 1-inch picture, right? A 1-inch picture. If they're flipping through and it looks like not so impressive, next house, and your house to get some activity. When they see a house and they're flipping through it and they see the house has the pieces of the puzzle they're looking for, and makes them more interested, makes them want to see the house. And the more people we can get into that house in the shortest period of time, two things happen. The more money it's going to sell for, and the faster it's going to sell, which means that you're paying your mortgage for a less amount of time if you have a mortgage, number one. And number two, it's going to put you more money in your pocket and get you to the point where you want to go to. Maybe it's in Florida over here in Palm Beach. People are leaving Connecticut quickly. They're getting out. And the people coming in can't wait to come in. They're coming in from the city in different areas or a local community they grew up in. Give these buyers a chance to see your home and want to see your home because it looks correct. It looks the way they want to see it. Right, Jen?
Definitely. It's all about your first appearance is online. Your first showing is online. If you don't have professional photography, you're missing the boat. All agents should be doing that, definitely. And so they're flipping through the pictures. The first 6 pictures are the main pictures they're looking at. So you need to have the outside of the house, the kitchen, the best rooms in the house. So this way they want to keep clicking. You don't want to have all 6 photos of the exterior of the house. You want to show the good features of the home first, and then the people will still, click through.
How often, Jennifer, that we see people, list a house and the seller themselves don't even pay attention to what their home looks like online. It boggles my mind. I walk up to a seller that the house didn't sell, and they call me up and tell me, we've heard good things about you, David, and your team, and or other realtors, if you will, whoever you're working with, you looked and saw the house in the market for sale. You saw it look like crap. You as a seller are not looking at your own home for sale. If you're selling your house, you need to make sure your house looks as good as other people's homes. And if you want to make sure that that's happening, you need to pay attention to what your house looks like online. Right, Jen?
Oh, definitely. And you should see what your competition is. I mean, if you see the houses that are selling, they're pristine. They're taking furniture out of their house. Like if I was to sell my house today, I would be removing some furniture because when your house is on the market, it's not the way you live in it, obviously. Okay. So you need to pretend
Absolutely.
nobody lives in the house. You need to clear your counters off. You need to put the toaster oven that you use daily away. And, people don't realize this. And, and that's where we come in because an agent should be guiding their client. The towel that's hanging over the shower curtain, somebody takes a picture of that and it's like, oh my God, you didn't think about moving the towel. Silly little things like that make a big difference. So you really need to watch through the camera what people are going to be looking at. And it's like you're not living in your home. You have to pack the knickknacks up. You're going to be moving anyways, so you might as well pack up now. Store them in the garage, that's fine, or store them in the basement. But less clutter is better. You want the person to see the home. You don't want them looking at your photos, all your stuff. You want them looking at the home and the space that the house has.
So let's talk about the fact that we have two great programs that Coldwell Banker has.
Revitalize and Listing Concierge.
Two great programs. If you want to sell a house today, you want to make sure that you have a chance to get every bit of exposure as possible. You want to ask your realtor, whoever you decide to work with, it's going to be something that is going to help get you as much money for your home as possible. There are a lot of great companies out there. I'm not talking anything more than Coldwell Banker specific what we offer you. And Coldwell Banker has a lot of amazing features it does. We're part of a company called Realogy. Realogy has great technology. Coldwell Banker in my opinion, leads the avenue as far as technology goes. We got a guy named Joe Valvano as our president of our company in New England and in Connecticut and Westchester County. This Revitalize program is phenomenal. It's a great program for you as a seller. We got again, Jen, help me out the names of the programs, please. I'm sorry.
Memory loss, Dave.
Yes.
Revitalize and Listing Concierge.
Listing Concierge for the agents, Revitalize program for the sellers. Well, it is honestly, I think about this Revitalize program is so amazing. I love it. I use it. I recommend it. And it makes a big difference on people who are selling their homes. So I want to thank you, Jen, so much. You're amazing. You've been in the business, again, 35 years, 25 years with our company, Coldwell Banker in North Haven, right? Is that right?
Correct.
Married to one of the most amazing guys in the world, Sean Caldwell. Love Sean. He's an amazing guy. I hope he's watching here today.
Might as well give out our social security too at this point, Dave.
Jennifer Caldwell live with us here at the PowerCast for Team Powerhouse. And we have the spinning wheel for the next winner of the tumbler, Jonathan. I hope you got things going on. We have a tremendous more people following us now. I think we're having about an average about 10 to 20,000, some of that ballpark of people watching you, Jennifer, now live. And that's not just live, but what's happening after this goes and we hang up with the show over here, it goes viral, which makes it more exciting, and we're going to have some more fun with that too. So, Jonathan, talk about the spinner wheel today.
We have the spinner wheel. I just put some new people I found out followed us. Let me just get the stupid thing set up. I have some new people that followed us on TikTok and Instagram and such. So every time I see you guys following us, I put your name on the wheel and you're entered to win a tumbler from Team Powerhouse. I should let you know the last person who won has not responded yet. So if you want your tumbler, please let us know.
We will get in touch with this person for sure. So who is going to be today's lucky winner? Jen, do you have a chance to see what's going on over there live in office, in the studio?
I do.
All right, let's see who's going to win the free Team Powerhouse tumbler. Spin
to win, baby.
Tia Muller. It's a real estate Instagram account that followed us. So they have won a Team Powerhouse mug.
Nice job,
Awesome.
Tia. Congratulations. Hope you're watching today. We're very excited to get this tumbler out to you. I would show it to you, but I'm not in studio today. And it's a great tumbler. It's about this big. It works great with alcohol. It works great with coffee, tea, juice, soda, water, whatever you want to put inside it. Hot, cold. It's a fantastic tumbler. And of course, it's got the Team Powerhouse logo on it, which is nice to see. And we appreciate you being a part of this program today. Jennifer, thank you so much again. Jonathan, thank you for making this happen in a virtual show. I want to thank you all out there who are watching live and who watch it later on. Please like it. Very important. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We love you following us over here, getting some more showings. Instagram, YouTube. We have Twitch. We have Facebook. Please like and support us. We appreciate it. And if there's anything you want us to cover, please let us know. We are excited to talk with you every week, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today. Jen, thank you so much again.
Thanks, Dave, for having me, and thanks, everybody, for tuning in.